Alright, welcome back to Somewhere in Between. I'm Daniel. Today I'm going to show you how to change some things on your Mac. I want to apologize for the long time since my last uploaded video. We're sitting on I'm not sure, over 14 days, so that's my bad. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how to change some things on your Mac. This will work on iMacs, MacBook Pros, MacBook Airs, Mac Minis, even on the Mac Pro if you got one of those. We're going off of macOS Catalina, but if you have High Sierra or Mojave or even Sierra, I think was before High Sierra. Even if you have those, most of this should still look the same. macOS does not change a lot from version to version, so you should be good even if you're not on Catalina. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this video. Once your Mac is booted and you're logged into it, go down to your system preferences and tap on it. Go to software update, and you want to check for an update. This is universal advice for all of your hardware. You always want to be running the newest version of whatever operating system that device is using. So that's just true for Mac, for Android, for iOS, and for Windows. That is just good advice for all your operating systems. Anyway, next we'll go to security and privacy and tap on it. Now under general, a login password has been set for this user. You can change your password. I don't know what password you're using. You just want to make sure you're using one that you can A, remember, and B, cannot be guessed easily by acquaintances or even friends and family. And then you have the option of what time you want to require the password after the computer goes to sleep. I like to do immediately, just that's the safest option, but whatever you feel comfortable with. 5 seconds, 1 minute, it's pretty unlikely that someone's gonna be able to get to it in that amount of time. But whatever, just use your best judgment. And then allow apps downloaded from. You can choose App Store only, or you can choose App Store and identified developers. Because of the fact that there's many applications I use that are not available in the Mac App Store, I always choose the second option. File Vault. This is like full disk encryption for your hard drive. You should definitely turn this on. Once you turn it on, I think you have the option to either use the local like the password that unlocks the Mac as the decryption password, or you can use your Apple ID, if I'm remembering correctly, your Apple ID password. Just make sure that you remember whatever it is, whichever option you choose. And you can choose a recovery key because it looks like I did that. Now, firewall. Your firewall is to prevent unauthorized applications, programs, and services from accepting incoming connections from the internet. So I like to turn firewall on, and you should turn it on too, but it can get where you're constantly, especially with new applications, you're constantly getting pop-ups asking if it's alright to accept incoming connections. So in the options, I think you can choose to allow all installed apps to accept incoming connections. You might want to do that. You can take a look and decide. Now privacy, This is just like, your permission system on a smartphone. Each of these, like for location services, like I'm giving Find My, which everyone should have Find My Mac, Find My iPhone turned on. That way, if you lose it, you can locate it, or at least you have a chance to be able to locate it. And like I've given Siri access to location because, like, if I ask for a weather report, she'll know where I am and be able to give me an accurate forecast. So I would say, just use your best judgment on these things. Like, there's always the old example that like a flashlight app shouldn't need permission to see your photos. That's a good example. Like some apps legitimately need certain permissions to function correctly, and then other apps don't. And if you're not sure, or you don't understand why it would need that, then it probably doesn't need that. But you can do some trial and error, turn some stuff off. If it breaks the application, you can turn it back on. So without knowing what applications you have, I can't really be more specific than that. But going down to analytics and improvement, I turn all of these off. I think you should too. Share my Mac analytics, improve Siri and dictation, share with app developers, and share iCloud analytics. Like improve Siri and dictation. If you turn that on, you're giving Apple permission to listen to your Siri recordings, like when you activate Siri, and then what your interaction with Siri. So those that would probably be okay, or a lot of people wouldn't object to that. It's just sometimes Siri activates accidentally, and you don't even know. But anyways, this is you can at your discretion decide what you wanna leave on or turn off. It's my recommendation that you turn all four off. Advertising, you want to check limit ad tracking, and you want to reset your ad identifier. That's pretty much it for security and privacy. You should also go into your Apple ID and check what services and apps are syncing to iCloud. All of them don't need to be. It's obviously personal preference. And then you should go into password and security and check if you have two-factor authentication enabled on your Apple ID, which I encourage you to do. And then you can add a trusted phone number. Make sure it's a phone number that you're gonna it won't default to the phone number. It'll default to sending like a push notification to your iPhone or Mac or whatever, and ask, are you trying to sign in? And you'll say yes, and then it will give you a 6-digit code, and then you feed that code back to whatever app you're trying to sign into, and then that's how you log in to like Apple TV Plus or Apple Music or whatever. So make sure you have two-factor authentication enabled, and then add a trusted phone number. Make sure it's one that isn't going to change. A lot of people get locked out of their accounts because they turn on two-factor authentication to a certain phone number, and then the phone number changes. I like Google Voice as an option because your Google Voice number won't ever change, and it's a service that's been around a long time, so Google probably won't kill it. Maybe I'll do another video on how to create a Google Voice number, but anyway, just add a number and keep track of what numbers you have added to your accounts, because like I said, if you change the phone number, you could get locked out of the account. At least temporarily. You could perhaps get back into it, and this is your password for not the computer, but for your actual Apple ID. Just make sure that you're using a strong password, one that's not guessable, and one that you can remember. Honestly, you should be using a password manager. And I don't really like Apple's keychain as a password manager. It's better than nothing, but I would recommend something like Bitwarden or LastPass. LastPass, I think, is a good place to start for people that's never used one before. They're both free, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks to everyone for watching this video. Yeah, we will make sure that it's not as long until the next one as it was since the last one. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, hit the like button. It helps YouTube recommend my video. If you have some thoughts or suggestions, comments, whatever, leave them below in the comment section. If you have people in your life that are interested in privacy, or if you're interested in privacy, they should or you should check out my channel. Anyway, we'll be back soon with another video.